So this past ice climbing season, I was able to get time with the Patagonia Fitz down jacket. And here's what I can tell you from using it. Overall, this has kind of been one of my more go-to belay jackets. And I kind of say belay jacket loosely with this because if you define a belay jacket by having a two-way zipper, so you can have like ease of access to your belay loop, I mean, this jacket doesn't have a two-way zipper, it's a one-way zip. So if you would nitpick and say, well, that's not a belay jacket, well then, okay. But when I've been using it as kind of that belay jacket, I've been really liking it. You know, this jacket offers something different than the Alploft. Like the Alploft is the ultimate like cold weather jacket. It's like the kind of the Canadian Rockies jacket, the Denali jacket, the Expedition jacket. Whereas this jacket it's almost the Expedition level jacket, but it's more like if you're doing the Weekend Warrior Expedition. Like this jacket just offers something different that like even the DOS Light can offer. And like there's just a really good balance that this jacket has. Like you've got tons of storage options, like having the 2 chest pockets. I love having that. You know, you have 2 really good hand pockets. You've got 1 massive drop-in pocket. That's great. You know, you can stick climbing shoes in there to keep them warm. Like this jacket has a lot of good storage options. So that's something, you know, like the DOS Light can offer. And the Alploft can offer that, but you've got so much more bulk with the Alploft. And sometimes that bulk is well worth it. You know, on the negative 20-degree days that we had this past season, you best believe that I was in the Alploft. Like I wanted to be warm. But on those days where it was like 15 degrees, maybe 5 degrees, and maybe even -5, I was reaching for the Fitzroy a lot. And I think I just realized like the Fitzroy is warm, and it's really warm, and it's warmer than synthetic. Like down, hands down, offers something completely different than synthetic can. And you know, it's kind of a give and take thing. Some people might prefer synthetic versus down. You know, one of the random quirks about down is that it doesn't really breathe. So like if you do any sort of movement in it, or if you're kind of like really warm to begin with, you kind of feel moisture build up faster than you would with a synthetic jacket. Because a synthetic jacket kind of does breathe, even though if it's not like breathable insulation, like it just has the tendency to breathe a little bit better. But in turn, down is better in the wind. Like it just creates a better of a barrier. So, you know, on windy, cold, brutal days, I was reaching for this jacket a lot, and it was definitely nice to have. And like I said, it's nice because it's almost like that level of the Alploft without all the bulk, and you can still get a lot of warmth with the jacket while still getting it to a pretty lightweight and a small pack size. So yeah, overall this jacket's been really great to kind of take with me for ice climbing. Now granted, it definitely has its, you know, downsides. You know, with down, if you're in a wet environment, if it's raining or you have wet snow, you really don't want to be wearing a down jacket. You know, as soon as that down gets wet, you're kind of screwed. So it was definitely one of those things where you had to use forethought and be like, okay, what's the day going to look like? Is there any precipitation that we're going to get? How cold is it outside? And yeah, so that's maybe like the only downside of using this jacket, is just because it's down, you have to be a little bit more aware. But if you know that going into it and you know the weather that you're going to be seeing, if you're in dry weather or kind of just dry cold weather, this thing is great. Like it really is great, and it really has become kind of one of my go-tos for insulation. Now I still would say if you want a general good all-around belay jacket, like the synthetic DOS Parka and even DOS Light, probably more the DOS Light would still be the better option. But if you're kind of looking to round out your options to have kind of like a really cold weather kind of belay jacket and just kind of down coat, the Fitzroy really does offer something really great. And you know, I am talking about this previous ice climbing season, but that doesn't mean I'm done using this jacket. Like that's actually something I'm really excited for, because when it goes into the spring and summertime and even early fall, I really don't even touch the Alploft anymore because it's just so much down. and it's just so much bulk where it's almost too warm or it's just too bulky. Whereas this, I can be using this year round just because it has like just the perfect amount of insulation to where it's not too bulky and it's still really warm. I mean, think about like alpine days in the summertime. You know, a lot of people use the Fitzroy down jacket for those scenarios, and I can see camping with this jacket. I can see, you know, doing some bivvies in this jacket. Like, you can do a lot with this jacket, and like, I'm imagining for like kind of cold weather bouldering, this jacket's going to be great if I just want something, you know, kind of warm, because especially for bouldering, I don't need a belay jacket. I don't need a two-way zipper. Like, it's bouldering. So I'm definitely excited to continue to use this jacket going into the rest of this year. But yeah, like everything that I've experienced with this jacket, it really is just really nice how it's been. And you know, a big thing with it too is how it's fit. You know, this fit of this jacket is kind of perfect. You know, it's not overly bulky like a belay jacket is to accommodate space, but it just looks good too. Like, it's not too slim either. And like the arm length is perfect for me. And if you want reference for how I sized it, this is a medium, and I normally wear a medium with all Patagonia things, and I'm 6 foot, and I'm right around 170 pounds and like a +4 ape index, and yeah, this is how it fits on me. And yeah, the fit has been really great, and I really like it for the fit. Like, it's just one of those belay jackets where you're like, doesn't really feel like a belay jacket because it's not like overly bulky, but it just kind of really does fit right. So like I did say, I am going to be continuing to use this, so I will, you know, get more thoughts on this jacket as the year continues. But if you have any questions on this jacket, feel free to leave a comment. I'll try to get to it as soon as possible. And with that being said, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.